hello again. Um, I'm Rachel,
I'm Cassandra.
and uh, we're continuing to read His Nerd on Wattpad. Um, so it's been a hot minute, and we've both kind of forgotten what happened. We were kind of talking about it. So he, Hunter, took her shopping, and she got a haircut, and she bought some new clothes, and then he got mad at the mall for some reason. We're still trying to figure that one out. Um, and then he picked her up at her house the next day. She went to school with all her new clothes on. Uh,
It basically looked like a different person.
yeah.
A lot of people mad. Or no, it was the other like popular girl.
Mhm.
Like they all like ganged up on her, on Ava, and they were like, "We're gonna." They basically tried to embarrass her or whatever, right?
Uh, I don't know. Honestly, I don't remember. I just
Uh,
remember the dude that like pranked her at the beginning in the library was
yeah.
like, uh, what did he say? He said like, "Oh, what? You're too good for me now," or some dumb shit, and like started beating her up. And then Hunter came and beat him up, and she lost
Yeah.
consciousness. And then I don't know. Did did anything else happen?
Well, and then the tutor thing. Hunter
Uh
came to her house.
oh yeah, for like a tutoring session or something. And
Yeah,
he was
which
weird about something.
he pretty much got there, got upset, and left. It probably lasted about 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that was pretty anticlimactic.
Yeah, I remember
Because I
now.
think because I think Ava's trying to like figure him out or
Yeah,
whatever, and obviously this whole thing, like her as his girlfriend, is just a joke. Like it's not real, but she
yeah.
doesn't know that.
No, I think she knows it's not real, but she doesn't know why he did it or like why
Oh
he's doing it, and that's what she's trying to figure out.
yeah,
We know because we got a little interjection of Hunter's point of view or something.
yeah,
And he said he wanted to he said he wanted to be the like top player or something at the school. Like he wanted the title,
yeah,
and that I can't remember the dude's name, but that he was like the leader or something.
yeah,
But leader of what? We don't know. So,
yeah. Yeah. So
um okay. Well, I think that's pretty much everything.
yeah,
Um
so we're on chapter 12 now,
yes.
called Rules.
Mhm.
Um, do you want to start? Or do you want me to start?
Um I don't care. I can start.
Okay. Can you hear water in the background?
Only when you're talking.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So, yeah, we're good. Her husband is cooking dinner. So,
I'm sorry.
Kyle, say hi.
Hi.
Okay.
all right. So, here we go. Chapter 12, Rules. And then the little quote at the top says, there she paused for a while thinking, but the temptation was so great she could not conquer it. A week has passed since Hunter was in my room warning me to stay out of his life and to mind my own business. As much as I want to, I just can't seem to help it. My curiosity has got the better of me. The more he tries to push me away, the more I want to know about him, about why everyone says he's dangerous. Of course, there are rumors around the school, but you can never really rely on them, can you? I know this for a fact, as one of the rumors is he supposedly slept with every girl in our year, which is clearly fake because I've never slept with him and neither has Lily. I have to be careful with the information that I choose to believe. or chose, as it's written here.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. This first chapter kind of confuses me. Like,
First paragraph?
oh yeah, that's what I meant. um, like, did he actually say to stay out of his life? I remember her saying,
Yeah, I
just
did.
mind my own business, but
Well, yeah, I read the end of chapter 11. I mean, it's pretty
oh,
much what he
oh, okay.
like don't try to meddle in my yeah. Anyway,
All right, well, whatever. I don't remember a single thing. So, uh, so instead, I've opted for the more dangerous option: get the information straight from the source. Every day while we were at school, I've tried to talk to him about it, but he always ignored me or found a way to change the subject. He's now gone to great lengths to even try to avoid me. How does that work if they're supposed to be fake boyfriend and girlfriend?
yeah. I,
I don't know. Maybe this would make sense if we didn't wait 2 weeks to read it.
yeah.
This school was still a big change I had yet to get used to. I see and feel people's gaze follow me all the time. I've started to learn to just try to ignore them. The key word being try. It is way harder than I thought it would be. All the whispers and sniggers behind my back. Yes, sniggers. I am not saying the N word, okay? There is an S at the beginning. It should be Snickers.
Yeah.
The word the words that I can clearly hear them say, however, no one has been as bad compared to the devil.
What?
I think she's talking, well, Jessica.
Oh.
I think. I don't know. Maybe the devil just started going to her school. Jessica has been relentless, more so than usual, since it was made known to the whole school I was dating Hunter. Most people, and by people I mean girls, have just given up trying to get us to break up, but not Jessica. She is always finding new ways to humiliate me and upset me because she knows that deep down I am a little scared of her. Every time she tries to say something, Hunter, Liam, or Declan would shut her down. I don't like being a problem. They always have to jump in and help me out because I get too tongue-tied to try and stick up, and I'm getting mad at myself. It makes me feel like a burden. I'll read 2 more.
Okay.
They all insisted that they didn't mind, but deep down I think they wish I could grow a spine and stop allowing myself to be treated that way. I want to be able to fight my own battles, to stand up to her or anyone else for that matter, without choking on my words because what they say hurts me. Jessica's words don't just hurt me, they leave a scar because she cuts so deep, and that's all I can see in the mirror sometimes. The scars on my skin.
Okay.
So dramatic. Hunter and I haven't developed our relationship any further. We haven't found common ground, which makes it difficult for us to even hold a conversation. Even though we've hung out for the past week, we have barely said excuse me 2 words to each other, and I think people are becoming a little suspicious. He's always huh?
Oh, I hurt my neck really bad when I laughed.
Oh. How do you manage that?
I don't know. That feels weird.
Ouch. Like you
Ouch.
popped a vessel or something?
It's like the base of my skull. It just, I don't know. I'm fine now.
Oh, okay. uh Little suspicious. He's always hanging out with his mates or playing football after school. He said he has to work really hard as the season is starting and it is clearly very important to him. He is the captain of the football team and he needs to make sure his team is up to scratch so that they have a fighting chance in winning this year.
All right.
Oh, okay. Was this enough? I lost track of how many I was reading.
You said you were going to read 2. 2 more,
Is
and you
this the
did.
second one?
You just read the second one.
Oh. Okay. Man, work is like completely fried my brain. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay.
All right. Go ahead.
Right now, I am stood at the side of the field waiting, the light trickle of fine rain gently kissing my face. The wind blows in protest as it tries to sweep me off the field
What?
because it am an imposter. However, I told my as I wasn't going anywhere, as Hunter is my ride home, and I said it was fine that he had practice. I would wait. It was stupid, really. I was fine with it, but in this weather, I am not. Don't get me wrong, I love the rain. You'd have to if you lived in miserable, drizzly England. However, I didn't like being out in it. I just like listening to the sound of it while I'm curled up with a good book. After another 20 minutes of standing in the bone biting cold, it starts seeped into my blood, cruising its way around my body down to my core, causing uncontrollable shivers to take over my body. My cheeks are rosy red, as well as my nose, which was starting to run with the wind and rain. Every so often, I had to keep sniffling as I had no tissues on hand. That
Okay.
was.
Sorry. Pause for just a second. I'm gonna let my cats were fighting right before we started recording, and I had to separate them. But my one cat is meowing extremely loudly, so I'm gonna let him back in so he'll shut up. Give me just a second. Okay, we're back.
God must have answered my prayers because I finally see the boys start to make their way into the changing rooms to clean off all the mud from training before heading home. Ooh. I stand there with my arms hugging my shaking figure as I watch the coach and a few other players pack up the equipment. I feel 2 warm, strong arms coil and snake around my waist. My
Ugh.
body.
Gross. Sorry.
It's okay. My body instantly goes on full alert as I try to get out of the devil's grip. I'm just about to scream, a voice whispers in my ear. What? I relax slightly when I realize that the devil is
Oh
Hunter.
my
What is
god. What is actually happening right now?
We have been hugging and holding hands in public, but I still wasn't used to him holding me. It was unfamiliar and it just didn't feel right. Nevertheless, I just have to deal with it. He is my boyfriend after all.
No, you don't have to deal with it.
Right. We walk to the car slowly in silence with his arm around my waist. I'm still shivering slightly from standing out in the awful weather, but he is so warm that I unconsciously leaned into him to try to soak up as much of the warmth as possible. My mind wanders as we walk, and I wonder why he's being so friendly with me. Maybe he's putting on a show for everyone at practice, or maybe the training has let him release some of that steam. I'm pulled from my thoughts as he unlocks the car with a click of his button, and we both jumped in to try to escape the cold. I start fiddling with all the buttons to turn up the heat as Hunter climbs in and shoves his bag into the back. He glances at me, but says nothing and starts the instead car before backing out of the car park and onto the quiet road. It had only been a few minutes before warmth starts to seep back into my bones and I'm able to let my muscles relax. I speak up, voicing the thing that had been eating away at my mind. Hunter, do we need to set some rules? My voice comes out calmly, but that's not really what I'm feeling right now. He seemed surprised by my question, but took his time thinking before his husky voice filled the car. Ew, like what, princess? I take a deep breath before answering him. Well, for starters, how about no cheating? I don't want to be made a fool of again, and I know what you are like. So, can you just try to keep? Can Can you just try? No, can I try to read this sentence? Can you try to just for keep it in your pants? He's but just nods his head, letting me continue. You also have to fuel my ice cream obsession because if I'm gonna put up with you, I need some type of motivation. Lastly, my voice starts to shake and I feel my word, oh good lord, get lodged in my throat. Lastly, no sex. It comes
Well,
out.
I know one rule that he's gonna break.
Yeah, his whole bed. It comes out in a rush, and I wasn't sure he heard me before a smirk overtook his features. You may think that now, princess, but you'll
Oh
change
my
your mind.
god!
What's under here? He motioned himself by waving a hand over his perfect sculpted body.
I'm just surprised he didn't like just point directly at his cock.
Oh.
Okay.
I roll my eyes, but feel my cheeks redden at the thought. No, thank you. He doesn't say anything for a few seconds. What?
I don't know. It sounded like weird for a second, and it was surprising.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. He doesn't say anything for a few seconds before asking if there was anything else, for which I replied by shaking my head. Okay, well, I have a few rules of my own. I could see his smirk, which was making me nervous. Oh, dear Lord, I was in so much trouble. They are 2 simple rules. It isn't hard to follow. First, he pauses for dramatic effect. You aren't allowed to tell people that we aren't legit. I nodded. That much was obvious. If I told anyone, then that was just more of a reason for them to laugh at me and make fun of me. I kept my mouth shut, not wanting to start an argument, and stayed silent, letting him continue. Do you want to finish the chapter?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Secondly, you princess is not allowed to fall for me. I know one rule that you can't break. What the hell? I'm like hearing myself in my headphones.
Oh. Like that one time?
No, this one's different.
Well, I showed Kyle. Well, because when I listened to it, remember, I wasn't hearing that.
Yeah.
On my own end, but I was in tears when I listened back to the podcast. It was so crazy.
I know. No, this one's different. It's like
okay.
Just like feedback.
Oh.
Like I don't know like if it's like from your microphone or what. But anyway, I'm going to start again.
Okay.
Secondly, you princess is not allowed to fall for me. I scoffed at that. There was no way I'd fall for that jackass. Are you sure? I wasn't like all the other girls that were so desperate for him to do them. Don't worry, that won't happen ever. Yes, it will. He turned to me and smirked. Good, because it's too much drama and hassle. I rolled my eyes. He sounds like a girl saying that, but I didn't comment as we pull up to my house. Well, I'll see you. No, okay. The way it's written. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, princess. I look at him with confusion written all over my face. Tomorrow? It was Saturday tomorrow, right? He answered my question before I even asked. Tomorrow I'm bringing you to meet my parents. They found out I had a girlfriend and they want to meet you. He used quotation marks around the word girlfriend. I roll my eyes before his words sink in. My eyes widen at his words. Meet his parents. I couldn't do that. I barely know who he is as a person. Don't worry, you'll be a fine princess. I nod at his words, even though they aren't very comforting. Feeling numb, I shut the car door behind me as I make my way up to the front door. Hunter doesn't drive off till I've unlocked the door and stepped through it, letting him know that I was safe inside the house. I guess that was sweet of him. I shut the door and slump against it as the news about meeting his parents swirled around in my brain. I could do this, right? We'll see about that. Yeah. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
All right. Next chapter.
All right. I'll start.
Okay.
So, chapter 13, the Black's mansion. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experiences. Good word. Few experience what you really are. Upon waking up this morning, I had contemplated whether or not to text Hunter and tell him I'm ill and I couldn't make it over. I abandoned all these thoughts about 5 minutes ago because I knew he would know I'm lying, so instead I texted him asking what time I should leave. His reply was almost instant. Hey, princess, is 2 okay? Also, I'll pick you up. Yes, 2 is fine, but you really don't have to pick me up. I can walk or something. Princess, I live on the other side of town. You couldn't walk, plus what kind of boyfriend would I be if I made you get the bus or something? I sighed. There was no use arguing with him. Fine, see you soon. After shutting my phone off, I then proceeded to make my way into the bathroom. It was 11 o'clock and I needed to be ready for 2, so I might as well start now. Who knows how many attempts it will take for me to actually look decent enough to be in front of Hunter's parents.
I hope she wears her good SpongeBob shirt.
Oh, yeah. I did wonder, like, when they were not really talking to each other in school, was she wearing all those clothes that, or was she just dressing like herself again?
I mean, I'm guessing that she was wearing her new clothes because she said like she was getting used to all the like new attention and stuff. So
okay,
maybe, I don't know.
In the bathroom, I proceeded to shower, washed my hair, and shave. After stepping out of the scorching shower, I put the contact lens in that Hunter and I had got while shopping. I have a feeling my big glasses that hide half of my face wouldn't be acceptable. Exiting the now makeshift steam room, I rush into my room and start drying my hair and sort out some sort of suitable clothing for meeting Hunter's parents in. This is about this author. Sometimes there are just really boring passages that don't need to be written. Opening my small wardrobe, I looked at all the clothes bursting at the seams, staring back at me, no pun intended. Was the right thing to wear to your fake boyfriend's house to meet his parents? Yeah, there wasn't an answer. If there was, believe me, I would know. All right, I'll do the next 3.
Okay.
Well, and not those 2 words.
Okay.
Checking the weather today by looking out my window, I decided to stick with jeans, as it looks like it was blowing a gale out there, and the last thing I wanted was to embarrass myself in front of Hunter's parents by wearing a skirt and everyone getting a trip to Ava's Pantyland. No, not a good idea. Gosh, I didn't like reading that. Grab my skinny black high-waisted jeans, I throw them on, and then proceed to find a flattering top so I didn't look so cheap next to his family. The nerves really started kicking in when I thought about what they would think of me. How would they react if I knew I wasn't from a rich family? Were they even snobs? Am I making too much of a big deal out of this? Most likely.
Okay. I shake these thoughts away from my head as I carry on getting dressed. Finding an orange top. Oh, I hate orange shirts. I'm sorry.
Me too. No, me too.
That was slightly off the shoulder in a smooth, silky fabric. It wasn't too loose on me either. It elegant, yet simple. Satisfied, I started on my hair. I took the front 2 pieces on the side of my head and twisted them before I pinned them back. Pulling some baby hairs down, I allowed these to frame my face, allowing me to show off my new beach curls. When did she curl her hair?
She didn't say that.
Finally, I added just a touch of makeup to help hide the bags under my eyes from a lack of sleep. Running the concealer over my face, I make warlike... is this necessary?
So this is a makeup tutorial all of a sudden.
I guess.
Jeez.
I make warlike patterns before blending it out and adding powder. Lastly, I swiped a bit of mascara over my eyes. Ouch. And lip gloss.
I was thinking. You could draw that, like war paint, and then I don't know.
And then just, I don't know.
That actually would be hard.
Yeah, that I'm not artistically talented enough to do that.
It would have to be an animation.
It would.
I
can't do that. I can barely draw. There's no way I could do an animation.
That's okay.
And lip gloss on my lips before smiling at my reflection. I only knew how to use concealer. Ugh! Because I watched a makeup video on YouTube. Pathetic, I know. Yeah, just shut up. However, everyone has to start somewhere. I sigh as I check the time to see that after my shower, drying and faffing around, it was already 1 o'clock. Perfect. I had time to make some lunch before Hunter arrives to pick me up and take me to meet his parents. Jumping down the stairs in swift movements, I made it down without falling. Wouldn't it be great if she did trip and fall and like break her ankle? That would add some conflict to this story.
It would.
And then she would have to figure out how, because she obviously, she would be too much of a weirdo to tell Hunter that she like either sprained or even broke her ankle or her foot, and she'd have to figure out how to hide the fact that she was injured from him and his parents.
Yeah, she'd just be limping around.
Yeah. See, that would make for an interesting little meeting the parents story. But
well, maybe something else will happen.
Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, maybe we should, like, after we're done reading this, we should just rewrite this story. God. That would be way too much work, though.
Yeah, it would, because I would get too into it.
Yeah, me too.
I used to write stories.
Yeah, I did too, just, like, for fun.
Yeah.
I never finished any of mine. I would start on an idea, and then I would, like, obviously I'm not a professional writer, so I didn't storyboard or anything. And then I'd be like, I'd write myself into a corner, and then I'd be like, oh, well, start a new story. But anyway. Okay, so she didn't fall. The house is now silent without the steady drum of my feet against the stairs. Taking the short walk to the kitchen, I open all the cupboards. Why? I open all the cupboards and pull out the bread and the rest of the ingredients from the fridge as I go to work, making myself a very plain sandwich, ham and cheese. Was it necessary to open every single cupboard in your kitchen to make a ham and cheese sandwich? Jesus. It doesn't take me long to devour the sandwich that I have made. My stomach calls out for more as I take the last bite. I sigh as I ignore my stomach's call and proceed to tidy up the mess I had made, making sure to wash down the surfaces as well.
This is terrible.
Yeah. I'll do 3 more.
Okay.
5 minutes later, I'm back in my room checking my hair hasn't fallen out, and all the grips are in their place before I grab my jacket, my phone, and start to make my way downstairs. Grabbing a pair of black ankle boots with a small heel from the shelf downstairs, I slip on the black boots before grabbing the keys off the hook and marching out the door with a sense of confidence that fades away as quickly as it came. Locking the door behind me with a satisfying click, I step into the driveway, waiting for Hunter to take me away to my doom. I check the time to see it's 1:58. It makes me anxious, wondering if he was ever going to pick me up or if he had lied and set me up. I prayed it wasn't the latter, however, I wouldn't put it past him to try to make a fool of me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, was that not 3?
No, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I forgot. Okay.
Oh.
Exactly 2 on the dot, Hunter pulled into my driveway. Yeah, I'm sure yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Relief flooded through me until it was replaced with fear and nerves at the prospect of meeting his parents. Hunter being here meant I had to meet his parents, and there was no way I could get out of it. It was too late now. He flashed me his infamous smirk at me from behind the wheel before I rolled my eyes and opened the car door. Today he decided to come in his orange Vanquish again. That is. Do you know what a Vanquish is, Kyle?
I assume it's the kind of car.
Yeah.
Well, remember he said he had an orange Aston Martin?
Yeah.
I don't remember. He said it was an Aston Martin Vanquish.
Here's Kyle.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's a very popular and famous model of Aston Martin. It's a sports car.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay.
Kyle. Very cool.
Yes, I know so much about cars, I guess.
I sighed. It must be nice to have enough money afford 2 cars. Well, it'd be nice to know grammar
Yeah.
and English. Although I'm sure he has more than just 2 cars. The journey was quiet except for the occasional chatter that filled the overhanging silence. Hunter asking how I was, only for me to reply in a shaky, uncertain voice. Either way, I knew when I said I was fine, I was lying, and I knew he knew it. He clearly knew what was bothering me, but didn't press the matter as we carried on driving in the foreboding silence.
This is so like like I don't know, not suspenseful, but it's like she's trying to build suspense, but it's just not working.
Yeah.
Overwritten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kyle. That's exactly what I was looking for.
I was bottling that up for a while.
I shift nervously in my seat as I send a quick text to Lily telling her how nervous I am, to which I get a reply of encouragement. Relaxing my tense shoulders, I try sink into the silence and let it drown out my fears and thoughts. But the silence ebbs away at my very soul with taunts and jabs, it should be, unsettling my emotions that come crashing down upon me and cause my doubts and fears to escalate. Good
Oh
lord.
my god, shut up. We get it. You're nervous. Jesus Christ.
I'll just finish the chapter.
Oh, okay.
By the time we had finally pulled up to Hunter's house, the nerves had started eating me alive. It's amazing that I managed to get out of the car without my legs buckling underneath me from the sheer weight of all my worries and doubts, and that broken ankle from falling down the stairs. I added that part. If that wasn't surprising enough, then the Black's house most certainly was. It stands 3 stories high, and God knows how long. I stare at the house that looms over me, reeking of money and wealth, showing me that I clearly don't belong here at all. I say house. It was more like a mansion with polished and pristine whitewashed marble walls that reflected off the sun's rays, giving it a welcoming shine that blinded me with the mansion's beauty. The front door is made of wood that is clearly polished to perfection. Standing guard to the door is 4 pillars that bear down on me with their sinister gaze, daring me to come and step my unworthy poor foot inside the house. Ava? I hadn't realized I had stopped walking, or the fact that my mouth had basically hit the floor until Hunter called my name, pulling me away from the beauty of the house and the horrors of my thoughts. My gaze snapped to his as he stood by the dark oak door, which was held open by a butler in the typical uniform of black suit with a white dress shirt and a pair of white clothes.
Oh my god, she did not have to add that. We all know what a butler looks like.
Yeah. Rolling my eyes, I gather what little dignity I had left and walked towards where Hunter was waiting for me impatiently, tapping his foot like a child. And then the author's note, I won't read the whole thing, but hello, my peeps. If you've made it this far, then I want to say well done because I know it's been a very bumpy ride. I just wanted to read that first sentence. All right.
Oh, the cats are fighting again.
Oh no.
Ugh.
You need to get them?
Yeah. Give me just a second.
Okay. How's it going over?
I'm doing I'm making side.
Yeah.
Because I actually ended up putting the asparagus in the chicken.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sorry. I don't know what their deal is tonight.
beans.
Chickpeas?
Yeah.
I love chickpeas. Yay! You're the best husband ever. Thank you.
Whoa.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do you need to eat your dinner?
It's not ready yet.
No, it
Okay.
Okay, so your turn to start because you started the very first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Chapter 4. Leah. Oh.
Chapter 14.
Oh. 14. Okay. Chapter 14. Leah. And then, okay, obviously, this quote was not said by Grimm. Knowledge is power. I don't know who. I want to figure out who this grim person is that she keeps quoting.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway. Walking in the threshold of this glorious mansion, I couldn't help the gasp that escaped my lips. The interior of the mansion was bright and beautiful, letting in as much light into the open space as possible, making the space look even bigger. It took me breath away.
I love when that happens because they sound like pirates.
If I thought the outside was captivating, then I didn't have a word for how the inside was. There was a grand white marble staircase in front of me with 2 sides to walk up that leaf to a balcony for people to look down. The floor was polished with a cream marble color. The banister was black, contrasting against the light. That sounds awful. Contrasting against the light colors of the house, setting off the colors perfectly. It doesn't know. A cream, white marble stairs that don't match the color of the floor, and horrible black banisters. That does not set off the colors perfectly. This girl has never played The Sims.
Right.
In between the stairs, there was a simple table that held a vase with flowers sprouting out over the top in luscious colors with beautiful pinks, oranges, purples, and yellows, giving the appeal that room was lighter than it was. Giggling to myself about how much they must love marble, I slipped off my black-heeled shoes and left them by the door. Following a beckoning hunter, I walked carefully, making sure my socks wouldn't slip on the cool marble that lay beneath my small feet. After a few poor attempts on my behalf, I finally managed to get into the swing of things. Huh?
What?
Marble isn't that slippery, is it?
No.
Unless it's like been polished with castor oil.
Yeah.
Jesus. Walking with a glide in my steps. So she's like doing that walk that you do on hardwood floors.
Yeah.
I made my way towards the room Hunter had disappeared through after giving up waiting for me. Walking through, I couldn't help but... Oh my god. Walking through, I couldn't help myself but be amazed. This place was gorgeous, and it never ceased to amaze me. I was stood in a dining room. There was a long oak polished table down the center of the room, demanding attention. 12 chairs were seated at the table. Do we have to know every little detail about this damn house? 5 each side, with 2 at the head of the table. I marveled at the table. Oh my god. She's in love with the table. It was so different from the rest of the house. How was it different? And yet it fitted in so well.
That oak really turns her on, huh?
I guess. Someone clearly had a good taste in this family. Obviously they don't. All of this mismatched furniture, I would hate living in this house.
Yeah.
Looking around, I noticed there was cutlery set out at the table along with different types of glasses for different types of drink. It was all so new to me, and I was nervous I would mess up. By picking up the wrong glass or saying the wrong thing in front of them, Hunter and I were... What? I think this was supposed... Okay, I think this period was not supposed to be there. And this was supposed to be a period, this comma here.
Yeah.
Okay, Hunter and I were still not the best of friends. I barely knew anything about him. Can you say that one more time, please? We haven't heard that enough. Jesus. But at least I could try while I was here, right? I'll do the next 2, because these are kind of long paragraphs.
Okay.
5 minutes later, I was still panicking, and Hunter had gone somewhere and said he'd be back, but he wasn't. I sat in their living room. How did she get into her living room? It was immaculate. Not a speck of dust in sight, and the feeling of anxiety was starting to eat at me again. I sat
Oh, here.
perched on the edge of the chair in fear of ruining something so expensive. Okay, so we get a very detailed description of the entryway and the dining room, but not the living room.
Yeah. Please tell us what the chair was made of.
Yes.
And what
Tell me what color, the make, the model, the brand, the size. I want to know everything about this chair.
Yes.
It was hard to miss the sound of giggling and shrieking that traveled through the silence. I turned just in time to see Hunter with a huge smile on his face and a little girl on his back telling him to go faster. It's his daughter. The look of pure happiness and joy was on her face, and it made me forget about my anxiety for a second. He started to jump with her on his back very gently to make sure she was safe. I've never seen this side of Hunter, and it surprises me.
Here we go.
Oh, God. He was caring and loving. I only ever got to see him as an arsehole or a jerk, and most of the time he just left me confused about what I felt. So seeing him like this, with a smile on his face while he was unconcerned about the people around him, I couldn't help but smile back at him and the little girl on his back.
Without warning, her head snapped to me and her emerald eyes pierced my own. She whispered something in Hunter's ear and he nodded, walking over to where I sat on the chair. Carefully, I raised myself to my feet. I stood there feeling awkward with myself and not knowing what to do with myself. I wrung my hands together as I watched the girl slip from Hunter's back with grace before walking over to me. She had dark brown hair that was flowing down to her waist. It looked so smooth and shiny, like it had been well taken care of. She had big round eyes, the same color as Hunter's, a deep emerald green, that I have to admit are very captivating. She is wearing a white summer's dress with a cropped-off denim jacket, and I couldn't help but admire her style. She dressed better than me. Well, that's no feat. She walked up to me, her face very serious. It didn't help with my nerves. She stopped in front of me, and the biggest smile ever grew on her face. Hello, my name is Leia. I was taken aback by how formal she was, but brushed it aside, so I didn't appear to be rude. Hello, Leia. It's nice to meet you. My name is Ava. She smiled at me as if she thought I wouldn't have returned her greeting. I know who you are. Hunter talks about you a lot. I felt color and heat rise to my face at the thought that Hunter talked about me. I wasn't sure what else to say, but I didn't look up at Hunter just in case. I don't want him to see the color of my cheeks. Luckily, she saved me from a lot of embarrassment by carrying on with her little blabber. Do you like my outfit? Hunter picked it out for me. Something clicked in my head when she said that. It made sense now. That's why Hunter had picked out all my clothes. That's why he knew what type of clothes to pick out for me.
Oh my God.
What?
Ugh. No. Ugh. I don't even know what to say.
No, either. That's weird. It's just weird.
Yeah.
I felt something stir inside me at the thought of Hunter helping his little sister trying to decide what to wear.
I hope it's not something good, because that's not I'm not feeling something good.
Yeah. It was adorable to think about Hunter stood there trying to match the outfits perfectly. I smiled and nodded at the little girl who stood at my feet as I shook away the unknown feeling that had settled in the pit of my stomach. What? She turned to Hunter with big pleading eyes before she spoke in the sweetest voice I've ever heard. Oh gosh, I don't think I can voice act that.
Try.
Oh no. Hunter, can I please take Ava to look at my room? Her big eyes widened even more, and Hunter looked at her with a smile on his face. Of course, just make sure you're down for tea. She nodded her head in understanding before grabbing my hand and dragging me towards the big stairs. When we reached the first floor, I noticed there were loads of closed doors along the long corridor. It only helped remind me of how much money the Blacks have and how little I have. I felt embarrassment run through my veins. I am not ashamed of my mother, but being in this expensive house feels wrong. I hadn't even realized Leia had pulled me down from the corridor. Yes, and pulled me in front of one of the many closed doors until she pushed it open. I noticed the door was pink before it was pushed open and the room was in my sight. My sight should be. The room in question was a mixed match of pink and white. Fairies, princesses, and vines. I almost said veins. That would have been terrifying.
Oh my god.
Decorated the walls. I recognized some of the princesses on the walls. There was Rapunzel, Snow White, Cinderella, Belle, Tina, and Merida.
Who's
I'm-
Tina? Does she mean
Uh,
Tiana?
I think so. Yeah, Tina. Tina.
Princess Tina.
I marveled at how gorgeous it all looked, all surrounded by tiny fairies and animals. A fairy light hung from the ceiling, adding to the theme of the room, casting shadows across the walls. I'll read one more.
Okay.
The room was huge. There was a single bed with bedposts that nearly reached the ceiling, with light pink curtains that were tied back neatly with white bows to my right. A dollhouse stood alone in the corner of the room opposite the bed. Her built-in wardrobe lay against the wall on my left, taking up most of the room, with full-length mirrors giving the room light that came in from the windows directly in front of me. Then there were just toys that were scattered across the floor, showing that she was previously playing.
Okay. Oh, Hermes is breaking in.
Uh-oh.
It's okay. I think he's gonna be chill for a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not sure how long I have been playing with Leah, but I finally heard Hunter calling from somewhere in this huge mansion. Sighing, I got up, leaving the toy princess where they were, and grabbing little Leah's hand and walking down that long corridor. I had learnt quite a bit about Leah. She was 6 years old and she adored her big brother. She loved playing dolls and dress up and loved it more when Hunter joined in. How much you want to bet Leah is never going to show up again in this story? I laughed at the thought of Hunter sat there with his sister in a dress with a scowl on his face. What? Oh. I don't know. We finally reached the bottom of stairs where Hunter was waiting for us. Leah let go of the hand and the hand. Just a floating hand. And rushed to Hunter, who had his arms stretched out wide. She jumped in time. Dude, chill out.
Hermes?
Yeah.
I don't hear him.
No, he's looking like he's gonna start trouble.
Oh.
Okay. She jumped in time and he lifted her into the air and swung her around while she laughed and giggled. Watching them filled my heart and makes me wish that I had a younger sibling. No, you don't, girl. I smile at them and follow Hunter back into the dining room. It had now been transformed into something magical. Ugh.
Here we go.
Food lay on silver platters, of course they're silver, along the table. Candles had been lit as well, giving the smell of peacefulness and home. I smiled and followed Hunter, who seated Leah on the right of the head chair. Hunter took the second to the left, and I sat opposite him next to Leah. A few minutes passed until a man came into the dining room. I'm guessing it was Hunter's father, as he had the same color hair but had blue eyes that looked dull and tired. He was a tall man, but he wasn't as built as Hunter. His suit was slightly crumpled on his body. As
That's
if to say, we've done too much. What? Finally, Hunter's mother walked in with a bowl of dips and placed them on the table, sitting next to Hunter, giving Mr. Black a gorgeous smile, which he returned. I studied her for a bit. She had Leah's dark hair, but it was shorter, and Hunter's shining green emerald eyes. Why does everybody in this family have green eyes? Except for the dad. Like, his cousin had green eyes. The exact same green eyes. Which makes me think maybe she's, like, more than a cousin. Maybe she's actually, like, a half-sister.
Hmm.
I don't know. This story is so like boring. We have to come up with our own theories about everything.
Yeah.
She was stunning. There was a glow, but I do actually like enjoy reading this story. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So,
me too.
no hate, Sir Ellios. We don't hate your story. It's just not good. She was stunning. There was a glow about her that radiated kindness. Her skin was tanned to perfection, and her jewelry shone in the candlelight. She smiled at me, her perfect straight white teeth. Before engaging me in the conversation. Hello, you must be Ava. Please help yourself to some food. It sounds like a robot.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was also part of the way that I read it. I glanced around and realized everyone had already started to get food. What food? It was just a bunch of dip.
That's true.
Like they're gonna eat dip without chips? What kind of rich family is this? I felt the heat rise to my face and looked out at the sea of food. Oh, I guess that was... Maybe that was like the last piece of the food puzzle.
Yeah.
There was lasagna, different types of potatoes, roast, mashed, and boiled. Then there was fries and wedges in seasoning. Ew, that's too many potatoes.
Is there such a thing?
Yes, this. I felt my stomach rumble as I started to pile it onto my plate greedily. Oh yeah, there's still quite a bit more. Do you want me to finish or...
I can finish. If you want me to.
I'll do 2 more and then you can finish it.
Okay.
I was halfway through eating my plate before Mr. Black started questioning me in his gruff voice. Okay, let me try this. How do I do gruff? Never mind, I'm not going to try it.
Kyle could read it.
Yeah, Kyle, you want to read this?
It's just a quote. You have to use a gruff voice. Do your corpse voice.
No, I don't do a corpse voice.
So you're gonna say, "So Ava," to read that quote.
Well, these people are British, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do your best British gruff voice.
So Ava, you're the girl that has finally won our son's heart. Tell me, what are your grades like at school?
Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle.
Oh God.
A pirate.
I was taken aback by his question, and I saw Hunter glaring at his food.
Oh,
Well,
I am an A student. The lowest I have ever gotten on a test is a B. That was when I was doing my GCSEs. I'm currently doing my A levels, same as Hunter. He nodded his head while he chewed on his food, analyzing me with his piercing gaze. That's funny picture. And what is it you study? I study... Okay, this isn't college. I mean, you study everything, right? I study language, psychology, and maths. He looked surprised at this, but nodded his head nonetheless, and let me carry on eating the delicious food.
Oh, maybe, it's like how we had we had elective courses in high school. Maybe that's how her school is set up. But
no, I know.
I don't know. It seems weird that, because she is kind of talking like this is college courses.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Continue.
Okay. My charger isn't charging anymore. It wasn't even charging from the start. It was just keeping it where
Alive.
It was. Yeah. 1 second.
Okay.
Let me try this outlet. Maybe it's just the charger.
There's an outlet there.
I know.
Well, not really.
No, that's not working. I'm gonna have to get another cube.
Whoa,
Okay.
Try that again. Wait, never mind.
What?
Never mind.
Oh, wait. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, never mind. I was just going to say while you're looking for a cube or a charger, I could keep reading. but it sounds
Oh,
like
yeah.
you found
You can
one.
keep reading.
Oh, okay. Well, just let me know when you find one.
Okay.
When we had finally eaten as much food as we could, I helped Mrs. Black clear the table away and bring it into the kitchen to be washed up. She shooed me away, though, saying I was a guest and that I shouldn't be doing any of the chores. I walked out of the kitchen to only have Hunter grab my arm in a tight grip. Oh, ew. I hope you didn't hear that.
I did, but
Oh,
Kyle,
that was nasty. Okay.
yeah, Kyle, these outlets aren't working. That's weird. That's really weird.
Did like a
Well, you sure
circuit
it's not?
breaker trip or something?
I guess it could be the cable.
Yeah, I think that might be.
Let me try a different cable. Because everything else is on.
Okay, I'm gonna
Sorry, you can keep reading.
Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. I walked out of the kitchen to only have Hunter grab my arm in a tight grip and forcefully drag me up the stairs and throw me into one of the rooms.
What?
I let out a shriek as I fall on my butt. Wincing slightly at the pain. Oh my god, the room was in darkness and I can't really see what was around me. I heard a lock click. Oh my god, what is about to happen?
Oh my gosh.
I heard a lock click and my fear heightened. My heart rate went through roof. Way to ruin the mood. What if he's really mad with me and he's going to kill me? Why would he be so... What? A light flickered to life above my head, and I saw Hunter staring down at me with a cold expression.
Oh, this is weird. I'm charging now.
Okay. I'll finish this next sentence and then you can finish the rest.
The next sentence?
Or sorry, next paragraph. I don't know
Okay.
I don't know anything about writing grammar.
Okay.
When he talked, his voice was cold and hard. My parents can't know that we aren't together, okay? You don't get to be their friend. I own you now. Now keep your mouth shut and do as I tell you, okay? Where is this coming from?
Oh.
Shock, anger, and hurt swirled around in me. I got to my feet, feeling bravery surge through me as I came to my full height. Full height of 5 foot.
Yeah. You don't own me. I am my own person. What are you going to do if I tell them this is fake? Bully me? Yeah, get in line because I'm used to it. Now you listen to me. You don't get to boss me around. There is no way I will ever become your puppet. I poked him hard in the chest, pushing him back. My voice was just as hard as his was, and I have no idea where the strength to stand up to him had come from, but I liked it. Maybe it was because I finally had enough of people walking all over me. Why shouldn't I stand up for myself? No one should be treated like that. Was he looking at me with shock or sadness? No, it can't be sadness, right? The words he spoke next took my breath away. What do you mean you're used to it? You shouldn't be used to being bullied. His voice wasn't hard anymore, but soft.
Ugh.
I just shrugged.
Oh.
This only seemed to anger him, and he grabbed my shoulders, roughly shaking me slightly. What do you mean you're used to it? His voice was louder this time, demanding that I answer him. I look at the fire that burned in his eyes as I answered him, never breaking eye contact. I may be invisible to everyone, but I still get bullied. They bully me, then forget about me. Forget about the hurt they have caused me. That's why I tried to blend in, but Jessica has always seen me, and she is ruthless. She just likes playing a game with me. My voice broke at the end as a sob pushed its way up my throat, giving my real emotions away. All the years of pushing down my emotions and bottling them up had finally broken. A tidal wave of emotions surged through me as silent tears ran down my face. I felt Hunter pull me into his arms and stroke my hair, trying to calm me down. If there was anything I wanted in life right now, it was to never leave Hunter's to embrace. Way to ruin the last sentence.
Wow, that was like whiplash.
Yeah.
Like, he's angry, and then he's like...
I'm sorry.
And then he's sorry that you're used to being bullied?
No,
He's bullying her?
I'm sorry. I just can't get over the fact how he threw her in the room hard enough that she fell down and on her butt. Like, it ends right there. You leave.
Yeah. Well,
I
don't know. It should have ended when he got mad at her and, like, in the parking lot of the mall.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying.
This is such a toxic relationship. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I really hope that this author is just a teenager and, like, doesn't understand what a real healthy relationship is yet.
Yeah.
Because if this is what she thinks, like, real adults act like,
yeah,
or like how a people in a relationship are supposed to act,
it's inevitable to be this way. Yeah.
That's Sir Ellious. I hope that's not the case.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, let's move along.
Okay. One second. Hey Kyle, how's it coming along?
It's pretty much done.
Okay.
Do you want to just... This chapter is pretty short. Do you just want to do this last chapter and then call it a night? Oops.
Sure.
I don't know what I did, but I skipped backwards. Okay.
And it's my turn to start.
Yeah.
All right. Chapter 15, Rule Breaker. Stars, hide your fires. Let not night see my black and deep desires. After my interesting dinner at the Black's mansion and the unsettling feelings that have rested in the pit of my stomach that is unknown to me, it is now finally Friday morning, and I was not in the mood to deal with people. I barely got any sleep last night as I was up late writing all the essays that I had not completed. It's unheard of, I know, for a nerd to have work. However, I had been rather busy this week as it was just so hectic, and it physically and mentally drained me. For a smart person, I know nothing about boys and feelings, and I am on the verge of breaking point. It's driving me insane. What does all this mean? Does this mean I like him, or do I just hate him, and he just messes with my head? Ugh, too many questions and so little answers. My new life feels like a routine now. Hunter would pick me up and we'd walk in with his friends before we split up to go to lessons and meet up again at break and lunch. But it all feels so robotic and unlifelike. There's barely any communication between us, just following the rules. No way does it feel realistic to me. After painful hours of maths and English, it's finally lunch, and boy was I starving. I could hear my stomach growl in anticipation of the glorious food that I could be eating, but I'm sure many others could hear it too, but I didn't care. I rushed into the line for the canteen and grabbed a tray of chips and a chicken burger because I don't care about calories when I'm feeling this hungry. What? After paying for my food and grabbing water as well, I walk hurriedly to my new table and take a seat next to Hunter, who raises his eyebrow at my food, but I just shrug. Why would he judge your food? Gosh, I start eating my food after I had finished my chicken burger, and I turned to my chips, popping them in my mouth when I noticed the guys staring at me. What? My voice came out slightly muffled as I still had a few chips in there, but I'm sure they won't mind. Their stares were piercing, and I was starting to get a little bit worried. It was Liam who spoke to me first. Are you going to eat all that? I stared at him, my face blank. Were they being serious? Yeah, is there something wrong with that? Liam shook his head with a cheeky smile on his face. No, there's nothing wrong with it. It's when we see girls eat, it's a salad or a piece of fruit. You're eating more like a guy, more like a normal person even. And I stared at them dumbfounded. Did I really eat that much? Liam must have seen my face because he added in a hasty voice. It's really refreshing. It's honestly not a bad thing.
God, I hate these people.
Oh, I smile at him, feeling the tension ease as I turn back to my chips before they get too cold to eat. Oh,
they're
chips
like
are fries.
fries. They're British
Yes.
chips.
Yes. We are uncultured. The guys turn back to each other and start to talk about football and girls. So I tune out before I lose my appetite. I'm brought back to reality when I hear Hunter calling my name. Ava? I turn my attention to him, a confused look upon my face. So are you coming or not? What the hell are these guys talking about? Was I going where? What? Hunter shook his head at me and smiled ever so slightly before it disappeared. To the party Declan is throwing. I freeze. A party. They can't be serious. I'm a nerd. I don't do parties. I know enough about I know enough about them to be smart enough to avoid them. Drunk hormonal teenagers grinding against each other, making out, and whatever else they aren't ashamed to do in front of others. Do you want to read?
Sure. Man, that sounds like...
Speaking of food, you should see what Kyle just put in front of me.
Oh my god. Well, I'm not hungry because I ate pizza.
Oh,
Okay,
all right.
well, I'll try to go fast so your food doesn't get cold.
Okay. that's fine.
I shake my head and turn back to my chips, only to see I have eaten them all. Sighing, I turn back to Hunter, who was still looking at me. Ava, you are no longer a nerd. You are my girlfriend, and as my girlfriend, you must come with me. If it makes you feel better, you can bring a friend with you, okay? His voice left no room for arguing. It was final, yet in a way it sounded soft. Crazy, right? Yes.
Yeah, I'm to like him.
Yeah. After being dropped off at home by Hunter, I rang Lily as she wasn't at lunch today. Huh? And told her about the party. Good thing it was Friday. She was going to sleep at mine, so her parents didn't know she'd been drinking. My mom wasn't going to be in anyway as she was working, so I doubt that she'll ever know. She arrived at mine 5 minutes later with a massive bag full of clothes and makeup. She had even brought loads of hair tools. Rushing upstairs, we started to get ready. Oh, I couldn't wait. 1 hour later, Lily was ready, and I was still not sure what to wear. I had showered, washed my hair, and tried on endless outfits, but none of them seemed right. Lily was dressed in a red, slim-fitted dress that hugged her curves perfectly and came down the middle of her thighs with black, strappy heels to match. She had minimal makeup on, but it wasn't like she needed it anyway. Her blonde curls hung loosely down her back, with strands pinned back. I still think Ava has a lesbian crush on her. Groaning, I turned to Lily, pleading for help. We had 40 minutes to get to the party as we had wasted time before gossiping. She sighed and shoved me to sit on the bed, muttering things under her breath like useless. I huffed as I sat cross-legged on my bed while she walked to my overflowing wardrobe. Excuse me. After showing me a few dresses which I was quick to say no to, she pulled out a white dress. It was plain but had white lace all over it, with short sleeves. Don't wear a white dress to a party.
I know.
With short sleeves, especially if you're going to be drinking. With short sleeves, I was actually liking it. Stepping into the dress, it felt a bit snug, but it showed off my figure that I had been trying to hide for years. Turning to Lily for her approval, she nodded with a bright smile on her face before starting on my makeup. 15 minutes later, we were done. I had light makeup on, mascara, eyeliner, and lip gloss. My waves... It doesn't take 15 minutes to do that. My waves were in an elegant, messy bun on my head. Finally, I grabbed a pair of white flats. All white.
Ew.
I grabbed a pair of white flats as I was not trusting myself in heels.
Hermes! I'm surprised she didn't say she put blue eyeshadow on.
Oh my god. That would have been like the epitome of bad high school makeup. Or outfit. I don't know. Pulling up to the house, which the address was texted to me by Hunter, we got out the car and noticed the party was already in full swing and swerved around people that littered the front garden. Oh, they got out of the car. Okay. I thought they were swerving around people in the car in his front yard. Some were lying on the ground passed out, some making out, and others were just drinking and getting fresh air. Inside the house, it was stuffy and loud. I couldn't hear myself, let alone Lily next to me. The smell of alcohol and sweat met me as soon as I placed a foot inside the elegant house. Holding back my fear, I grabbed Lily's hand and pulled her along behind me in hopes of finding the kitchen and to stop us from getting separated. I'll finish this one and then read the next one and then you can finish it.
Okay.
Have you ever tried to find a kitchen in a massive mansion while it was swarming with bodies pressed together? No. Well, this is my first time too, and I was starting to lose my patience. Finally, I saw the room people were getting drinks form and headed there straight away. The kitchen was as crowded, but the music still thundered through me. Huh? Grabbing 2 bottles of water and checking they were sealed, I handed one to Lily. Ew!
What was that?
That was a burp. I don't know
From
why I'm
who?
having these nasty-ass burps. Gross. My apologies. Smiling, shouting, thank you, we headed outside where it was quieter. I'm not sure how people do it, but I already had a headache from the music, and I'm slowly suffocating from all the smells.
Smells? Jeez.
I don't know. Maybe people are farting. Farting and burping.
Kyle's laughing. Okay, is it my turn?
I think so.
Okay. Oh man, my cheeks and ears are on fire.
Oh.
It's okay.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. It's okay. I had just started. I was laughing.
Oh.
I had just started to get comfy on some of the chairs that were outside when I felt my body being lifted into the air.
Ah!
So, it's Hogwarts all of a sudden.
I guess.
I'm so glad you could make it, Sweetie. By the way, you look stunning. Is he gay? I held my breath as I was set back on my feet as Hunter had stopped spinning me around in his bone-crushing arms. His words were sweet, but I knew he didn't actually mean them. Well, thank you. You don't look too bad yourself, babe. I cringed as soon as the words left my mouth, but carried on smiling anyway. Hunter smirked at me before turning to his friends, who I hadn't seen before, with smirks on their faces. My embarrassment only grew, and I knew that my cheeks were a deep shade of red. Damn my cheeks. Oh, checks. She wrote checks. Damn my checks.
They must be stealing her bank account information.
10 minutes later, we were all sat down, laughing and joking around with each other. My embarrassment was long forgotten. Lily was glancing at Declan a lot, but I didn't say anything. Hunter had gone off to go get us drinks, and I was happy yet sad at the same time that he wasn't there. Good Lord. I mean, he's going to be gone for 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
After 5 minutes, he still wasn't back. And I was getting worried. Guys, I'll be back in a minute. I'm just going to find Hunter. I bet he's kissing another girl.
Yep.
I saw all their smirks, but said nothing as I stood up and walked away, not wanting to hear their replies. Weaving my way through the sea of people, I managed to get to the kitchen, but there was no Hunter in sight. Hunting the Hunter. Sorry. Frowning, I wander out of the kitchen and into the halls that was full of people making out, dancing, and talking. That's when I saw him. He was pressed against one of the walls by that slut, Jessica. I felt my heart sink at the sight of them together, like that close and all over each other. Jessica's lips were getting nearer to his as her hands roamed over his body, and I felt my breath stop. It was like everything happened in slow motion. Their lips touched, and it was all I need to see as I ran towards the door. Tears prickled my eyes, and my stomach was turning uncomfortably. My body felt heavy, and I was shaking uncontrollably. Fumbling for my phone in my clutch, I phoned Lily telling her we were going home. She didn't question me and told me she'd meet me in the car. I fell into the car crying my heart out before Lily got there. I couldn't let my best friend see me like this. I kept seeing Jessica's smile, the lust that was there in her eyes, the tension that was thick, then boom, a bullet to their heart as their lips found their sweet destination. My heart was broken, and I guess we both broke rules tonight. He cheated, but I had slowly started to fall for Hunter Black. Oh, what a fool I was.
Oh, man.
Called
Okay,
it.
well, I mean, come on. He can't. I still don't understand why she's getting so upset. Like, they're not really dating. But I guess she said that she's starting to fall in love with him or whatever.
Yeah.
So. All right. I guess we'll end it there. You have to eat your dinner. And it's like way past my bedtime.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's almost 11 o'clock. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, I guess that's a good place. As good a place as any to end it.
Yep.
So,
good cliffhanger.
Yep. Enjoy your dinner.
I will.
And also, by the way, if anybody cares, we're starting to archive our streams because I didn't realize that Twitch didn't keep them for longer than 2 weeks. So
yeah,
they're gonna be uploaded on a YouTube channel, same name, Wattpad Woes. Check it out if you give a shit. I don't know. They're mostly there for us.
Yeah.
So anyway,
if you miss any,
yeah, or
if anyone's following along,
yeah,
and you miss a reading,
yeah, they'll be right there. They are not good, but they're there.
Hey, there are some pretty good sketches by the one and only Rachel.
Yeah, me.
That as you read along, or as well, one of us reads along and she sketches, it's freaking hilarious. So
yeah.
that's definitely worth a watch.
Yep, the artiste, and then I think we should probably do like a photo, maybe just like a photo gallery.
Oh yeah.
Once we're done, just a photo gallery video.
Yes.
Of all the artwork.
Yeah.
So anyway, her dinner's getting cold and I'm rambling. So I guess we'll catch you next time.
See you later.
Bye, pal.
Bye, pal. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Say bye, Kyle.
Bye, Kyle.
Special guest.
Bye, Kyle.
Bye.
See ya.